Hi everyone, welcome to week 2 of our horror film series around the world in several screens. This week we're going to be looking at Roger Corman's 1963 feature, The Terror. Post-World War II America was the perfect environment for low-budget films that could draw an audience, especially an audience that was so used to being glued to their new television sets and in packed theaters. Younger audience members were getting their first glimpses of Dracula, Frankenstein, and the Wolfman and the Mummy through television reruns. There was also an explosion of drive-in movie theaters that were competing with more established theaters operated by major motion picture studios. Although we think of the 1950s as the era of monster movies such as The Attack of the 50-Foot Woman, Godzilla, Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and Pod People, it's often the gothic horror genre pronounced by UK film companies such as Hammer or teen scream films of American International Pictures that would usher in a new age of low-budget films that would terrify a new generation of Americans. No director is more synonymous with American B movies than Roger Corman. An engineer turned director, producer, and writer, Corman's love of the works of Edgar Allan Poe and passion for horror movies inspired him to form his own company, Palo Alto Productions, and eventually work for American International Pictures. In his 1963 feature, Jack Nicholson plays Lieutenant Duvalier, an officer in Napoleon's army who chases a lovely maiden played by Sandra Knight. This leads to the hero being trapped in a creepy castle by Baron Victor von Friedrich von Leppe, played by Boris Karloff. For a film featuring an established horror icon such as Karloff alongside new and up-and-coming actor Nicholson and B-horror movie or B-film regular Sandra Knight, who was married to Nicholson at the time, as well as Francis Ford Coppola making his third outing with Corman, its beginnings couldn't have been more modest or haphazard, even by Roger Corman's standards. The weekend before filming on Corman's adaptation of The Raven was set to end, Roger Corman decided to film several scenes on the set with another actor that could be used as the basis for another film. Writer Leo Gordon, who had previously worked with Corman on other films, was paid $1,600 for a 60-page script that could be filmed over the course of 2 days. According to fellow actor Dick Miller, Corman contacted Gordon to, quote, "write me a bunch of scenes with Boris Karloff in this castle," end quote. The Raven finished filming on Friday, and then The Terror began filming on Saturday. Scenes involving Karloff in the castle were filmed over the course of the weekend. Karloff had agreed to do the shoot for $15,000. Additional footage was shot by Francis Ford Coppola, Dennis Jacob, Monty Hellman, and Jack Hill some months later. For those of you keeping track at home, that's 5 directors. Corman would eventually have to reshoot several scenes to make the story more coherent. The film has been described by the LA Times as spooky with a slow, lazy plot. It was shown as a double bill with another Corman film, Dementia 13. Jack Hill recounted, when we went to see the previews with an audience, they really loved Dementia 13. I think it was more of an attraction than The Terror at the time. It certainly isn't a high-tension thriller, but the background story alone makes it worth viewing. Karloff never got paid his $15,000 as the film failed to make its $150,000 goal. However, he did eventually get it once he agreed to what would later become the 1968 film Targets, directed by Peter Bogdanovich. For Nicholson and Knight, the film would be memorable for other reasons. Sandra Knight found out that she was pregnant with her and Nicholson's daughter Jennifer on the set. And for Nicholson, he stated, "God forbid, I don't want to encourage anyone to see it. I throw Dick Miller up against this door, and Dick Miller now tries to explain the entire picture in one speech. It's the only film that I know of that has a storyline that you can't follow." With that, we hope you enjoy this 1963 film, The Terror, featuring Jack Nicholson, Boris Karloff, and Sandra Knight, directed by Roger Corman and a cast of others.